I think it's about not just saying, isn't that awful, but doing nothing. It's about being proactive now.
There is no rational explanation as to why anyone would tolerate a society where this still happens. And I think that's the question people have been asking themselves.
I think what's striking about this moment is that when you look at the protest, it's black and white. It's, of course, many young people, all kinds of people saying enough is enough.
Failure of leadership is when you use racist remarks to describe people in different countries or in our society.
So it's really important under these difficult times that we unite against racism.
It's such an important moment, this, I think, for the world. You cannot look at that video and not want to effect real change.
If we didn't do that, we would be sending a message that this is a tolerable reality, that the deaths of black people, as Bill Moyer so powerfully put it, modern day lynchings, was something that we could live with. And I think the message is coming through loud and clear.
But in many ways in recent years, we've seen a rise in the scapegoating, a rise in the absolute economic problems that people of colour are facing in this society.
The roots of this systemic racism that has affected generation after generation of black British people has never been properly acknowledged or understood. And I think that that is the first thing that really needs to happen here, is a level of education.
The question is, how do we best do that?
The thing I hate the most about the race card is like, bruv, no one wants to be oppressed. Like, no one wants to, I don't want to have to, it's because I'm black. No one wants to do that. It's just this race card that people will swear to God that we just use for. It's like, nah, it's not a card. This is a reality. Do you know what I mean? Like,
this is very important. This is very vital. Black lives have always mattered. We have always been important. We have always meant something. We have always succeeded, regardless.
Hello Plumstead Manor, I do hope you all are well and welcome once again to this Black Lives Matter Assembly. For this section of the Assembly, I want us to think about the passing words of George Floyd, the words that have been amplified all over mainstream and social media. I can't breathe. I want us, however, to move away from the literal meaning and cast our nets a little further and focus on the aspects of black oppression which some of your teachers have touched on so far this morning. So let's think about what I can't breathe embodies and symbolises through the lens of black people. It requires me to be honest, and it also requires you to look at the narrative from a different perspective. So I'll start with what I can't breathe means to me. I can't breathe for me means to be disappointed. And so the question then becomes, what is Miss Agri disappointed in? Well, I'm disappointed in the fact that in Britain in 2020, I'm still unable to see black representation at the very top of big business and in the institutions that govern this country. I was looking at some data taken from 2019, and it illustrates, it shows the non-existent representation of black people in the top 50 companies in this country, which means or which sends a message to black people. If you can't see yourself there, then how do you believe you can get there? I can't breathe may mean for young black males to be frustrated. They are 40 times more likely to be stopped and searched by the police than their white counterparts. I can't breathe could mean to young black girls and women to feel pressurized, having to constantly conform to European projections of beauty is exhausting, which creates in us all that anything other than yourself is not the standard. It's not good enough. I can't breathe for black Africans could mean to feel hopeless. Because how is it that a continent that is so rich with natural resources is yet still so poor? It's partly down to the unfair trade practices that keeps the continent poor, dependent on foreign aid to the benefit of those that are in control. I can't breathe could also mean to be confused. It's difficult to understand why people are arguing to keep statues up of individuals who were explicit in the enslavement and trafficking of thousands of black people. I can't breathe may also mean to be shocked. That again in Britain, you can write and say the most offensive things about people of colour and still hold the keys to one of the most important jobs of this country. I can't breathe could also mean to convince, to persuade those that actually a country that is least racist isn't really racist. But most importantly, I can't breathe should mean to everyone to respond, to challenge and to take action. And it's through our collective response that together we breathe hope into the narrative of black oppression. We all have a part to play. We are all in control as to how history will be written. It should not be black against white or white against black. It must be everyone against racism. Thank you.